guys, Claire from World Builder Studios here. I'm not gonna lie, things have been really weird lately. First off, my roommates and Tom, they've been acting weird. Something landed on our backyard and we're not sure what it was, but I don't know, things have been happening.
Hey Claire, what you doing here?
Oh, nothing, just talking with our fans.
Well, fans? Hey, that reminds me, we gotta do a review of the thing today.
Oh yeah.
Here, scooch over. Okay. Well, hi everybody.
Hi.
So if you haven't heard, we are now doing a review of John Carpenter's classic film, The Thing. Okay. Backstory time.
Well, wasn't this based off The Mountain of Madness?
Well, in an indirect way, yes, it kind of was. You see, there was a book called In the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. It was okay for what it was.
Except for some of the...
questionable stuff we're not going to mention here.
Yeah.
But the good thing about H.P. is he had a lot of friends in the industry. And one of his friends made a book called Who Goes There?
And they made a movie sometime in the 50s, I believe.
Yes, because the book was made in the 30s and was quite popular. And it inspired Howard Hawks to make a movie called The Thing from Another World.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched it, but I've read a plot synopsis and it's kind of weird. First of all, it's about a giant vegetable, kind of, who looks like Frankenstein attacking everyone.
Just reminds me of like Killer Tomatoes.
And don't ever go full Killer Tomato. So, the movie was cheesy, but it had a fan base.
Yeah.
And one of those fans was John Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, John had always wanted to make this movie, but he couldn't for the longest time. Because of one good reason. Budget. He couldn't make it. It wasn't in the money for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, he started off making low-budget stuff like Halloween, The Fog, a couple other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head, like Escape from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And after he actually made The Fog, he finally got the budget needed to make The Thing. Interesting thing about The Fog, there's a line in The Fog near the end where Adrian Barbeau says, "Look out to the water. We'll look out for the fog." Interesting fact, in the original movie The Thing, there's a line from the ending where he goes, "Watch the skies. Keep your eyes open for the thing." So it's kind of like a wink wink, nudge nudge, wait for my next movie kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
And so, we got The Thing. And it unfortunately has one thing that I can't agree with it.
What?
When it first came out, people hated this movie.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous, but that was because the film was ahead of its time.
Very ahead of its time in terms of practical effects, story, characters, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And critics just couldn't handle it, so critics lambasted it with horrible reviews. The music for the movie was nominated for a Raspberry Award.
Could you guys imagine that? Have you heard the music from that?
I know, the music's so good.
Like, how could you get, like, more gooder than, like...
Than that, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And the worst thing of all, the original director, Howard Hawks, said he straight up hated the movie, apparently. And John Carpenter was in a bit of a depressed funk after that movie, unfortunately.
Well, yeah.
Bastards. But then he made films like They Live and other films like that, and finally he got the recognition for that film, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fans said, "Are you guys crazy? This is one of the best sci-fi films we've had in decades," pretty much.
And it still holds up, even today.
Pretty much. Now, why does it hold up? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the first thing, which everybody assumes with this film, the setting.
Right.
Because there's been a few films set in Antarctica, but it feels like they don't utilize it enough.
Well, when it's set like in a very isolated part of the world, such as Antarctica.
Yeah. Well, in this film, unfortunately, they actually couldn't film in Antarctica because...
Well, first of all, it's too fucking cold to film there.
It's like 40 below down there.
Like, you can literally die in that kind of temperature.
And this was before global warming, so it was really cold back then. But hey, they were able to film it in LA, of all places.
And Wasn't also part of the filming in Alaska?
Yes, they filmed in Alaska, and actually some parts in British Columbia, Canada. Because if you're going to film somewhere cold, Canada's the place to go, they say.
No kidding.
But yeah, most of the shots that we see of the base were filmed in LA, but the outside shots were shot in Canada and Alaska. And it makes sense, like I say, dramatically for this film, because if you're in an isolated area with nothing but snow, it kind of just builds up the tension with the characters.
That's true.
I mean, you feel just as paranoid as them, pretty much.
Well, it's like there's nowhere for them to go. All of their ways of connecting to the outside world have been cut off.
So they're just alone. Alone with the thing.
And they can't really sleep because they're so paranoid and so scared that they can't sleep.
And, do you know what the paranoid was supposed to be a reference to? The Cold War. Because think about it, this came out like mid-80s. Cold War tensions were really sky high at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically it's the idea of, if I can't get you, I guess I'll just destroy myself in the process. And that's the idea. The whole, communism versus democracy thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, let's talk about another thing people remember about this film, the characters. I actually like the characters in this.
Yeah, I find that the casting choice for this was actually really good.
Because they actually look and feel like a team, actually.
Exactly.
Every character brings their own trait to the thing, pretty much. Whether if it's Gary, or Palmer, Windows, Childs, Norris, Knowles, all those characters. Okay, but let's talk about some of the characters that stand out for us, pretty much.
Okay, so first we've got,
Well, first we got Blair, of all people.
Yeah.
Played by a pre-stachioed and pre-diabetes Wilford Brimley in this.
Yes, rest in peace.
I feel bad for Wilford Brimley sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Because he's best known for those diabetes commercials.
I know, and it's completely unfair.
Because before that, he was an actually real respected actor, actually.
He's done a lot of good work in his career.
And maybe one Star Wars film where he drops the F word in it.
Yeah.
Seriously, check out Battle for Endor. You can clearly hear him say, fuck, in one scene.
And it's not, like, quiet or subtle. It's, like, straight in your face. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a kid's film, right?
Yeah, I know. I think my favorite scene with Blair is where he's telling Mac to watch out for Clark, remember?
Yeah.
Who, strange enough, Clark is played by another actor who's been in a lot of horror films.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy who played Stan from that It TV series.
I bet he's like, not this shit again.
I have to deal with another shape-shifting monster, come on.
He's like, I came out here to get away from that crap.
Yeah, I think they say if you see that scene where he gets shot in the head, the blood in the back spells it in the background. And he gets to scream like, "Ow!"
That was a weird cry.
I know. Speaking of Wilford Brimley, I love that scene where he's like, keep an eye on Clark. I say, what?
He says, watch Clark, and watch him close to you, hear me?
Do you know why? Because he's got a case of diabetes.
But seriously, folks, please give him some respect.
Yeah, like, Wilford Brimley is more than just the diabetes guy. Whereas, rest in peace. But, speaking of iconic characters, let's talk about the Mac Daddy of them all. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt fucking Russell. I love Kurt in this one, man.
Or as he's known in this movie, Mac McCready.
Mac McCready or Mac Murphy or something like that sometimes. Interesting fact, do you know where they got the name Mac for that?
Mac Computer.
Yeah, Macintosh had just come out around this time. And that's why there's also Windows, because he's named after Windows.
No wonder he freezes a lot.
I know, it's like, Windows, don't do that! Damn it, Windows.
Demon, you gotta crash on me now.
I know. But thank goodness for Mac, because Kurt Russell once again brings his A game to this pretty much.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Not only is he the most, logical of everyone else here, and he also figures out how to defeat the thing with that blood test and everything, but he's also got, in my opinion, the most beautiful beard in cinema right there.
His hair also is like so gorgeous. I'm like, what shampoo do you use?
And he's even can make that shit kicker hat look like it works.
Yeah, well, that's your opinion.
That's my opinion, but honestly, Kurt, keep up the beard, buddy.
I think it's hilarious because the first scene we see him in, he's drinking JB.
Jack Burton, maybe.
We're
sorry for that one.
Yeah.
And he's playing Chess Wizard of all things, which was pretty new at the time.
Yeah, until he pours like his drink into the thing, he's like, "You cheating bitch."
Cheating bitch. Actually, my favorite scene with him is that speech he makes in front of everybody about how, I know I'm human. Some of you are human. And all that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful speech. I love that speech. But now, let's talk about some other stuff that we like about this film. The tension in this film.
Yes.
Because at this point, everybody's paranoid and they're at each other's throats pretty much.
And you literally don't know like when the next thing will happen.
Exactly.
And to be honest, when it does happen, it is fucking tense.
It is terrifying.
Beyond belief.
Thumbs up to Rob Bottin who made the effects for this film. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah.
Rob Bottin made it was a mixture of practical effects, stop motion, and puppetry basically, all together.
I think one of my favorite scenes with the thing was probably like the one with Bennings.
You mean when he gets the chest open thing?
No, that's
No, that's with the doc, right?
no.
The Bennings where he turns, he looks at them like,
and he's that screaming, and he's like,
just pours over the gasoline.
It is the entire time that scene happens. I'm like, oh god, kill it,
kill it with fire! That's where you get that term, by the way, folks. The kill with fire thing. But besides Bennings, what's my favorite? Do you know what my favorite scene with the thing is? I think it has to be the scene with the doc and Norris's chest burst out and all that, remember?
Yeah.
We see that giant thing pop out of the thing and bites off on Copper's arms.
And then his head decapitates and turns into that little like crab thing.
And Palmer looks at us and goes, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Pretty much.
And he's like, nope.
Kill with fire! But speaking of which, well, I think one of the most terrifying things besides that is, I think it's tied between the blood testing scene and the scene with the dogs, pretty much.
I hate that scene.
I know.
I'm sorry, folks. I love dogs very much.
And you had to see him get killed and all that.
And I was like, the entire time, I'm like, oh no.
Hey, you believe any of this voodoo shit, Blair?
And I was gonna say, like, he should know of all people Dr. Fasui is.
Yeah. I kind of like Childs in this. He's kind of like the doppelganger to Kurt Russell in this, pretty much, because Keith David's awesome no matter what he's in, pretty much.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, because he's got that very cool voice and everything.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you ever wonder why Keith David's been in so many films where he has to voice act, it's because he's got the world's most coolest voice, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
And hey, I love that scene at the end where it's just Childs and Mac together, pretty much.
Yeah, and you're trying to determine if he's a thing or not.
Now, there is a theory suggesting that maybe Childs is the thing, because when we look at the close-ups, Kurt Russell's the only one with breath coming out, you know?
Most people think that's probably just like a camera trick.
Maybe.
And a lighting effect, but who knows?
And there's also a theory that drink that he made Childs drink was actually just gasoline.
Oh.
But it's hard to tell. But we'll talk about the ending later. Now, some stuff I had some problems with was the spaceship, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because they had to cut some stuff out originally.
Yeah, because originally they were going to go inside.
There was an idea that they were going to go inside the ship and find out it was like a giant prison ship that was transporting different aliens across the universe.
And the thing broke out of its cell.
And caused it to crash.
Exactly.
Also, wait, a shot of a ship crashing on Earth. I wonder if the director of Predator saw this film.
Yeah, because technically this film came out before the first Predator film.
In fact, you sure we aren't going to get a crossover with those two?
That would be a nightmare.
I would just love to see Kurt Russell and Schwarzenegger teaming up to take on those things. Just saying. But yeah, originally that was the thing, and I kind of wish they did do that, but at the same time I'm glad they didn't do that for reasons, obviously. But hey, at least they showed it in that reboot that we got.
Yeah, but my problem with the reboot is the CGI effects.
CG kind of feels like they're taking a lot of scenes from the first movie, pretty much, and all that.
Like, we already know a lot of stuff from, like, the original one.
But hey, at least we got one of those actors from Game of Thrones, huh?
Oh yeah.
He's that big dude with the big ginger beard and everything.
Yeah.
And now, my favorite thing to talk about, the ending.
Mm.
Now, here's something that people didn't like about the movie. It kind of has a bit of a very downer ending, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, think about it. Everybody's dead. The entire base is blown up. And now it's hinted that Childs and, Mac are just going to freeze to death, pretty much.
Pretty much.
But I kind of feel like that's the point. Because you got to remember when this film came out, Claire. This is right after Vietnam had ended.
Yeah.
And Americans were feeling kind of hopeless and all that, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they wanted to emphasize the hopelessness that we got there, pretty much.
And as,
Mac
as Mac pointed out, they can't let that thing freeze again, because if it does, the rescue team will find it in spring and then...
just continue.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And they knew that they were not going to get out of there alive.
Nobody was going to get
So
out.
they knew that this was a suicide mission.
Pretty much. I kind of like it though, because it emphasizes sort of like that cold, isolated feeling that we're trying to get there.
And the point of it is to keep it contained.
Well, that's one of our own dogs right there.
Oh, yes.
We'll check her out later. But overall, final thoughts on the thing.
I love this film. It is probably one of my favorite horror movies to watch, and that's saying a lot because I do like a lot of them. I would have to probably give this maybe like a 9 out of 10.
Alright. I like to say that this movie was done really dirty when it first came out.
Yeah, that was complete horse shit.
Like, it didn't deserve that goddamn Razzie, pretty much.
Yeah.
Thank God it didn't win it, but still.
Still, even in nominations, like, you gotta be kidding me.
It's like Harvey Keitel when he got nominated for Worst Actor in Last Temptation. Like, are you kidding me? Seriously?
Anyway.
So, I want to give this film the respect it deserves. The Thing is one of the best horror films I've ever seen in a long time. So, 10 out of 10 for me, pretty much.
Nice.
Okay, so thank you for seeing our video. If you want to see any more, feel free to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And don't forget to check us up on our social medias, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or what have you, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody wants any more videos, they can check out our website, right?
Mm-hmm. And they can always notify us about which ones are next.
Yeah, and they can always look us up in the comments, that kind of thing. Okay, folks. So, I'd say adios and... Can you get that?
It sounds like it's coming up from my room.
Hand me the gun.
You go check it out.
You stay right here.
You go first, you got the weapon.
Okay.
What is it?
Sure.
Why is the light on?
I don't know. You wait here, I'm gonna check it out.
Alright, careful.
Oh, God!
Tom?
Help! Help!
Tom!
Get out! Get out! Run!
Hey! Yeah, fuck you too! Tom?
Hey,
Where were you?
thought I saw something. Been looking for it.
Did you get it?
Think so. Did you?
Think so.
Sit down. Hey, you sharing any of that? What are you supposed to be able to do now?
I'll have to just wait. See what happens next.
I agree.